Hello, welcome to James Plays Caesar for the Empire. Well, we're going to move on now to Alexandria, the second economic mission in the Empire section of Caesar 4. The Empire is destined for glories unmatched by any other in history so far. Lands both far and near from Rome need attention as challenges grow, as the empire grows, or whatever it says. I can't read it. Alexandria, the grain must flow from the Nile to Rome, as the empire's citizens are ever hungry. And that was true. This is Alexandria, Egyptus, one of the many cities named after Alexander the Great, who conquered this whole region back in the day and founded the city, as he did many others, with his own name, because he was big on that. But it's a really fun, great desert map. You'll see it's quite extensive. We got to grow a lot of grain for Caesar. He asks for it. He wants it. We can sell it. It's all about the grain. But this is a really fun and interesting city, because the farmland is far away from the coast, and most of your trade routes are trade ports. So you have to find a way to transfer the grain. But we'll figure all that out as we get it done in Alexandria here. And then after this, of course, we'll be on to the next one. Some unruly tribes up here in the north. The Germans again. But now it's going to be the Parthians, I believe, in Alexandria. So let's get started, see what we got here. It's the Empire Expands. All right. Really enjoyed this one. It was a lot of fun to do my, initial playthrough to refresh my memory on the city and make sure I can perhaps even do it a little better this time for you. So here we go. Let's get started. Alexandria. Plebs beg for bread. Expect bread and vegetables, and let's not even get into everything the patricians demand. It's proving to be quite tiresome, so, Governor, you shall travel to Alexandria in Egyptus to ensure that regular shipments of food flow from the Nile into the empire's eager granaries. While the transfer of food is your primary responsibility, it also behooves you to make Alexandria a shining example of Roman civilization. Building a thriving city will not be easy in the desert climes. Arable land is precious. Make sure that your farming operations are secure. Dipping into the food intended for Rome from time to time to support your city might be attractive, but be wary of losing a hungry Caesar's favor. Culture is 60, so we're going to have to build some coliseums, and we're going to have to get that culture right up there. Everybody's going to have to get covered, but it's a desert map, so you got plenty of flat land to build on. It's really fun. Security 25, very minimal. Prosperity 35, favor 40, so there's, we're just at the beginning here of this phase, so 4,500 folks, that's a lot of people. So we have our work cut out for us here, but it is quite fun. So let us begin. Thank you very much for coming along on the journey with us here. It's 23 AD in the Roman Empire. I do believe that Augustus has recently passed on the torch to Tiberius, his adoptive son, so the empire has been done a good deed by old Augustus, one of the greatest leaders in history. All right, now, this rock right here, I believe, is the rock that I want to build my city around, because how did I do this? These roads are just not happening really here. See, this is the way to go off here. I'm going to go off here. Let's see, where's that rock? There it is. So, let's see. There's the farmland. We're going to use this rock to guide our city here. Ah, yes, the sacred rock. I'll waste a little time just putting that there now. How did I do this? Okay. I want our food to go down here, right? So that's not too far to go. I think, whoops. Look what I did. Was use this for one side of my working class people this way. Believe it or not, I think this is how I did it. I built it around this rock. Right, so this is the bottom. It'll be a little funky. Okay. Okay. Spending some money on roads, but it's a desert map, so you do. As you do. This will be our plaza. This will be our middle class guys. What I'm going to do is do 3. Make sure we got that right. Three. 60 cultures. I mean, plenty of these guys. Okay. Then we're going to put in our plaza. Jupiter. Oh, I got hiccups. Uh-oh. And we're going to put Ceres in the hot seat right here. And we're going to put Mercury, of course, here. And we'll put a 4th guy in here. Mars. There you are, Mars. You're happy. Okay, and you know how we roll. That's a little farther back, isn't it? I should have put it up here, but we'll put the clinic up here. Because what I'm also going to do, I don't know, I'm not remembering last night's playthrough too well here. I'm trying to remember how I did it because it worked out so well, but very much fun. And did well. I think there's some raiders that come along here. That rock is messing me up. I'm not sure how I did it last time, but I'll figure it out. Okay, it's a little different, but anyway, let's go up here. And get our dimensions without spending too much money on housing right off the top. Okay. This is just to get our plan going here. We need 45, so I think we're going to need yet another. I'm going to put in another row of these guys. These working class folks. an extra row in here for any extra we might need, and we'll also put some more middle class guys in here too. That's a lot of guys, but we need them. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be a sprawling cultural city. Beautiful. All right. Now, gotta get a lot of water out there. There's the water is close by over here, so let's go here with the water and see how this works. Gets everybody. We'll put the reservoir in. Do our check. First, you put the reservoir down. You don't click out anything else. You go up here to water. You've seen me do this before. And we make sure we're covered, and we are well done here. What I'm also going to do is just, even though it's a bit expensive, just so we know where the water line is, I'm going to do this. So help us later. When we put in our upper class, we can put them in. This is probably going to be more an industrial area, but because of the clay pits and glass, but at least we'll know how this goes, how far we can go here. Good. Okay. Now we've got the water laid out, right? Getting that normal. That's our place for our... Of course, you know, we can always come back around, so, but I think that's good for a start. So we'll head out to the coast. I think if we go this way, this will work out. We want to stay out of the way of that clay pit. Okay. So it's 23 AD here in what is that? Well, Christ has already been born in Bethlehem, right, at the year 0. Some say he was born in 4 BC. At the solstice time, you know, December 25th is right after the solstice, when the sun, after being stationary in the sky, starts moving again after 3 days. Sounds familiar? Well, the ancient world is a very symbolically aware world. They didn't feel that myths were fairy tales. They thought that they were what they are. Potent examples of spiritual truth told through allegory and story. And so Jesus, as the Son of God, is like the sun in the sky, because that was big in the ancient world. So the solstice time, supposedly he was born, and the Magi came. You know the Christmas story. Everybody knows the darn Christmas story. Beautiful story filled with much truth encoded in the situation there, the stories that they told, and they wrote down eventually, because the Romans changed the world a lot. You know, the Greeks and the Romans, they created, of course, an aristocracy of the ruling wealth, but I mean, that was always the case. But for the first time, they actually began to develop a middle class. And the middle class was not as educated as the rich people, but they started to get to learn how to read. Because now remember, not everybody read in the ancient world. Only the priests and the elites who could afford the education read in the ancient world. But the Roman Empire started to change that. With these metropolises, now they could get water into the city. They started making these big metropolises, these big population centers. There are also population centers, of course, in the Mesopotamia and in Mesoamerica as well. But the Romans started this whole cultural renaissance of Greek ideas, and Hellenized Judaism was the Pharisee revolution, where they wanted Judaism to be more centered in the home and in family than necessarily with the sacred cows of the temple. And the Sadducees were the traditional Judaism that was heavily invested in the aristocracy, the ancient world. Things were changing. And the Christian era was big on that change, you know, the idea that even a regular old carpenter could be a sacred person. It was a beautiful thing. And even women who were not really that common, treated as important until the Christian era came along. Of course, in the ancient Celtic societies, the goddess was everything, so that's a different deal. But let's see. I wanted to put, believe it or not, an extra Circe shrine. Since we're doing so much with grain, we're going to put an extra Circe shrine in here somewhere. How about over here? And maybe even extra Jupiter shrine. Is that backwards? No. Oh, that's right. We're going to put extra Jupiter in here as well. There. It's going to call on a lot of these guys, but we got a lot of them. So there's the beginning of our beautiful city. Now, we're going to need a wall around this city. Excuse me. And we're going to need to get rid of these diagonal roads little by little. There we go. Now, we got water. Nice. Now we got to go down here. And I built my city a little bit away from the ports. Right? Not too far. Still got this hook up here. So we didn't need too much of an aqueduct. Close enough to the ports. But also closer to these farms here. So, grain field. See how close we can get. Okay, grain field. Grain field for the city. Vegetable field. We can afford a little here. Okay, vegetable field, and we'll bring this all the way out here. Get ourselves actually a gatehouse. And we'll gate it up right about here. Oh, I don't like that. It's not quite on there, right? That's better. That's good. I have to stop and think about it for a little bit there, just to make sure it's right. And we'll put a little ear on. That's it. That's all we'll do. It's a little early for walls. We got to get it out here and come up here and all that. I think this is a nice little city right here. Okay. Okay. Now we got a couple of farms. Now we got to put in some cattle farms, cattle pastures. Okay. Cattle pastures. And as we do, we got ourselves a grain farm. Let's make a tea here. Also, I believe there are raiders that show up, so we're going to be watching out for them. Desert nomads that like to destroy, rape, and pillage and burn. We've seen it before. We will outlast them, of course. You don't need too heavy military, but you need a decent one, so here we go. Alright, that's a good start. We got everything we need except for off this plaza. Put in a food market. And we're going to put in a grain. We really appreciate you watching these funny little things of ours here. These playthroughs are kind of fun. Let's face the farms. Maybe cut that off here and can maybe put something over here. Now, the walls aren't permanent. We can change them and expand them eventually. But we do want to get the final evolution of the upper class, or the middle class, I should say, so it can support our upper class. Because that was the whole deal of the ancient world. You had your aristocrats who could read, and then you had your everybody else who couldn't, and you had your slaves of conquered territories that they enslaved. Now, we'll stretch this out to here. Right? And, you know, come out to here. Or as we can, okay. I don't want to get too much in the way of the trade port possibilities there because we're going to need them. Alright, we'll get rid of this. Got a nice industrial square here. This has got to go as well. It's a waste of space. We need this space out here too. A lot of activity to do out here. Okay. Alright, we spend a lot on roads in a desert map. And you definitely need everywhere you can possibly put it. You need fire prevention because everything burns down on a desert map. So we're going to do that guy there, prefecture, now an engineers and another prefecture. Okay. Now we'll get around on that. There we go. That works. No. There we go. We got our situation stretched out here. And I think that'll do it. We got food. We got a market. We need prefectures down here. And they will burn. Prefecture. Engineer. Good. Now, over here, we are going to begin our need for, these guys want 150 sand, it's 1,500, ouch, that hurts. Sardinia wants 500 grain, so we'll wait until we can open up that one, because we got to satisfy Caesar's need for grain first. And we'll get a Caesar's Preserve going there for grain. Eventually open up that trade route and make a bunch of money. But this one is 250 bucks. We got it. Okay, and this one wants clay. We're going to open up that too. So those are our initial trade routes. We need this one because we need this for weapons, and we need it for armor, and we need it for utensils and for furniture. So this is a desperately needed imports. So 150 sand, that'll help because we're also doing glass for our these guys, glass. And these guys on 150 clay, so we can make money off that too. So let's get back to it and set up these trade routes. Nice. Now I think the clay is a depot. So, okay, depot it is. Clay pit out here. It's summertime in upstate New York. It's about almost 90 degrees today. It's going to be almost 100 degrees tomorrow and the next day. So before it gets too bad, my place gets pretty hot. Before it gets too hot, I wanted to do this playthrough for you. Get it done. I don't know if I'll be able to do it because I have to shut off the fans in my place in order to do this. And boy, it gets pretty hot. Because otherwise you'd hear them roaring in the background. And there's enough of that already. There we go. Oh, we need 150 clay from these guys. But you'd be surprised at how little it takes to get that. So we're going to go clay, digging camp. Right? Another one. Another one. And take this road out, of course. We might as well, while we're digging clay, right, and selling most of it, we could also pop in for the city. And it'll eventually get over there. Instead of building it up there, and we'll build it out here. You got it. A couple pottery factories. That'll eventually soak into the city. We may need another clay thing here, but let's see, we'll set that for clay. And we'll set this. Where's the city? Here's our city. Oh, we're going to put, yeah, just around this here. A fountain. We'll put a basic goods market. Like that. We'll put granary. Granary. What am I saying? We're going to have to put ourselves a warehouse out here for glass, olive oil. I don't know if we can make olive oil. Pottery. I'm going to make it a full city warehouse because we'll eventually get furniture, utensils, pottery, and glass. I don't think we need olive oil. So that way we can move this up a little bit into thirds. And get as much as we need in there. There we go. Put a road around it, and we'll put our luxury market out here as well. I like a little thing like that. There we go. There's our industrials. Excellent. That's some money maker there. Now this other one, we're 55 in the blank, but that's okay. We're setting up trade routes, so. This is done. 150 clay. Okay. This one, 150 glass, and this one, 150 sand. So, there we go. Trade port, trade port. These are both trade ports. So, trade ported up here. Somewhere. Has to be around here somewhere. But wow. Excuse me. Sniffle, sniffle. Have my ever-present ice water cooling me down. Keeping me hydrated. Very important. Okay. Kind of scary. We're running low on funds. Oh boy. Haha. Okay, we're going to put them out here. You know, we went for all those trade routes, so we're a little under the gun here. You know how beginnings are tough. But having this out here is a good idea. Sell a bunch of sand. Eventually, we're going to import as well. Iron and timber, but we got to wait on that too. And we'll put in warehouses and everything. This one's for glass. And maybe we can kind of find a way. Put this one down here next to it. That'd be good. Haha, nice. Okay, this one's for glass. Look at how nicely they lined up there. We're $300 in the hole. That's a bummer. Old Caesar is not going to like that. One little bit of weenie. Okay. And like that. Okay, we got these guys that'll filter down to here. And I do believe, oh, we can't do it. We got $400 in the hole. This guy's got to sell us some glass. Pronto. We don't need anything else for a while. So, we got sand way over here. Has to make it all over here. So, we put a warehouse. We'll put it out here. It's far away from the city. For sand and glass. See if we got any overflow. Glass. And sand. Good. Okie doke. Do we need a prefecture out here? We probably do. We're going to need other warehouses out here too. everything burns, so we have to be cool here. Okay, that's our initial trade routes. We're $600 in the hole, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to put up or shut up. Let's get rid of this road here. Get in the way. $700 in the hole now. All these roads, stuff take up a lot. Gotta do it. And we can take this out. And we gotta make money, so we're gonna have to put these in. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's just for selling sand. We got 150. Might need more, but that's a good start. We're also going to put, that's 40. I think it's 10 a year. I don't know, but I think if nuts, those are wrong. I think just what I need to do, and I'm this far in the hole. I don't think I have any money to give either, but I want glass factories, not pottery factories. 1, 2, 3. We don't want to take all of the sand, right? So let's start with 3, and then we'll get going here. Protection from the fires because we're on a desert. Okay, damn. This is not good to be this far in the hole. I really didn't want to do this. Anyway, let's see if we can't dig ourselves out with these trade routes as they get going. Okay, got a fountain. Jesus is working in his carpenter shop. Now, I know a lot of different off-the-wall, bizarre theories about the Christian era that I'd like to share with you during these playthroughs. I've researched it, especially in the last 10 years or so, and found out an awful lot about the era, the Christian beginnings of Christianity, the Christian era. And a very interesting different theories that there are. Now, of course, we all know the traditional story of Yeshua ben Joseph, Jesus of Nazareth, and all. And I don't think I have to remind you of that story. You want to read an interesting book that I wrote, you can read my biblical novel, Twin of Christ. It's one of my first novels that I wrote. It's like a Gnostic text, an offbeat version of Jesus' life. And I take some certain liberties and tell quite a tale. And I think it's quite a beautiful little book. And look it up online, Twin of Christ. You can get it in paperback. Not sure if it's on Kindle or not, but you can get it in paperback for sure. Check it out. Now, but there are many different theories of what Christianity was and how it got started. Now, in 70 AD, 40 years after the supposed crucifixion of Christ, the Passover at 30 AD, 40 years later in history, Titus Flavius, the son of Vespasian, the emperor, eventual emperor, first started as a general who went to Palestine to quell the rebellion of the Jews against Rome. The Jews rebelled against Rome, and it started around 30 AD with a procurator before Pontius Pilate, a governor of Judea from Rome. I think his name was Gausius, believe it or not. And he was the governor of Jerusalem for the Romans, tight with the Sanhedrin, the ruling priests of the temple. But he insisted on putting a naked statue of the emperor Augustus in the temple. Because Augustus recently died in 14 AD. Augustus passed away. Tiberius became emperor. It might have been a picture of Tiberius. I'm not sure. We got a granary burning down here. I guess maybe we'll, we'll catch up when they all move in, but maybe we need a little help down here. No, we'll put that in. It's not burning the farms down, so that's good. But we do need that granary, so let's go. Uh-oh. Fire ravages the city. Okay, somebody's burned down. We have nothing out here? No. This is a mistake. So stuff is going to burn down out here if we don't get ourselves some coverage. So, okay, whoops. We better get out here. Okay, coverage there and no coverage here. Look at everything burning. Burning, burning. Coverage. Prefect office. 1,500 in the hole. It's May. We might be able to dig ourselves out before it happens. But we won't get anything evolving if we don't get this taken care of. One thing we can do is go to our labor and set these for a higher priority. I don't usually do this, but I think it's essential on the map here. We're just waiting to get people in, but still. We'll see what we can refuge here. Okay, good, good. I'm going to save that. Come on, he's putting out all the fires he can. They got to put out the fires before they can get to the pottery barn. Okay. Okay, they're there. They're there. I think it's safe to put another pottery down here. They got it. They got it. Like I said, it's hard. Desert map, it's going to be very much a fire hazard. But as long as you got it covered, you're good to go. Got to cover it and make sure you're good. Okay, they put the granary fire out. All right, we're all covered. We're covered. Good, good. All right. Now, I suppose we need more guys, but we got to get this down. Any money? We got any money to give? Yeah, a couple $100. Guess that's good. Do what I can. I was overspent. I overspent. Might have to delete this one if we don't get this done and never tell you. So it's a good start. It's a good placement. I like it. It'll take a little while to get some food in here. Did we forget anything? We forgot a tax office. Let's have a tax office. Yeah, put it right here. I like that. And then he'll eventually get over here as well. Alright. Good. See how badly we're off here. 300 guys, that's okay. We got 69 of those guys, that's good. And I don't want to spend any money because it doesn't look like we're going to do too well here because it takes a while. It even takes a while to get this over here, you know what I'm saying? But let's see, make sure we got them all set up to sell. We do. All right, we sold 2. Nice. All right. Haven't sold any glass because we haven't made any glass yet. It's a long way to go, but you can't put the exports here. So the Jewish elders rebelled. You know, that procurator Gausius also took away the treasury. They stole the priests' money from the treasury, the sacred temple. Because the temple of Herod the Great, Call him Herod the Great because he built Caesarea. We'll be in that city eventually, but that's the one that he built for Caesar on the coast of Palestine. It was a great Roman coastal city that Herod the Great built. And he also built the temple in Jerusalem. One of the great wonders of the world, the great temple at Jerusalem. But the Jewish priests rebelled against Rome. And so Nero, I think it was Nero by that time, sent Vespasian and Titus, his son, they were both generals, to Jerusalem. Now, in the decades before that, Pompey Magnus, who was the proconsul of Rome during the last of the Republic era, conquered Jerusalem. That's part of where he made his name. And but they rebelled in the 30s. And so the idea we have of Palestine as this pastoral place of gentle sheep and goat herders and simple shepherds and this sort of peaceful Roman province, it wasn't. It was a war zone. It was a war zone right from the turn of the millennium. The Jews were not happy to be conquered by the Romans, and that's where this hope for a Messiah that would save them from Roman occupation came from. The idea of the Messiah was a war leader who would come in the name of God to free the Jews from the infidels. And this was a big part of their Jewish beliefs. And the Maccabees were a warrior cult. We know the Hanukkah story from the Maccabees, who freed the Jews from oppression. And they were looking for another war leader to come along, the Messiah, a war leader, a priest of God, but also a war leader like King David of old. Come and conquer in the name of God, the Messiah. Because it was a troubled war zone, especially when Vespasian and Titus showed up. And coincidentally, if you want to call it a coincidence, the route that the Roman generals made to invade Palestine was from Galilee, the northern province. And then they came through the Galilean towns and sacked them. Just came through, how the Romans did. They laid siege to the town, and they would take the town, and sometimes they would raze the town, which was destroy it. Sometimes they wouldn't, but depended. But they would come and lay siege to the town and break down the walls and sometimes kill everybody because they were Romans. That's what they did. There, we got some evolution going on. We've got a patio because we're getting somehow two basic needs. We're getting glass and we're getting pottery, so that's good. The glass is being sold, so it's October. We're still $1,000 in the hole. We're starting to get some glass. We're not exactly getting a lot of sand over here because of the glass, so we're going to need more sand. So let's do that. Not too hard to do. It takes a lot of guys. Just pulling with my mouse to face them toward the sand pits. Once you do it once, they all turn out that way, so you just got to make sure you got road access. There's another 5. Now this may be overkill, but we want to make sure we got 150. That's a lot. It's October, so we really need to sell something here. Okay, that's better. We are not going to make it, guys. Overspent. But we'll see what we can do. We might have to send Caesar a premature gift just to stop him from sending the army because we are in debt. And we'll get out of it, but not in time to get his cut at the end. So he's not going to like that one bit. A rough start. He's also going to ask for grain, and we need to get that going too. So let's do that. We sell a lot of grain in this one. You ask for a lot, we sell a lot. So we're going to make up, even though we don't have the money. We're not going to make it anyway, so we might as well spend just a little bit. $20 for each of these. No. Grain farm, grain farm, grain farm. For some reason I do this in threes. He asked for 60 of them. There comes the army. Yep. Yep, I gotta improve my standing. I know what that means. That's trouble. That's what that means. But we'll get around to it. Let's slow it down so we got time to do this. Prefecture. This is the beginning of quite the moneymaker. It's just the beginning, though. We're not going to sell it yet. We're just going to give it to Caesar. Okay. 160. I think each one is 32, so that's 64. This is Caesar's preserve. But once he gets his grain, we can put a road back to the city here. And this is going to continue to make money. Actually, let's spend some money here. Remember to tell me that we're going to need to send him a gift to get our favor back up where it needs to be before it drops too far. I just wanted to do that because we need a road that goes back toward the port. All right, we're not going to build it all the way back there because we don't have any money and we're deep in debt. But that's going to go back to the port. I'm going to put in another port for Sardinia. This is not good, folks. $18. Oh boy. So we're sending a gift. It's 23. Let's send it again to get up to 26. That's good. People no longer draw funny horns and a beard on your portrait. Good. That means that I've recovered enough to send the army back home for now, which is good. If we could just make some money, get out of Dutch here. And we will. We'll eventually will. It's a tough one because you have to. Okay, we got out of trouble, so I'm going to get right back into trouble because he's not getting his cut. And we can put in a few more of these. Make sure we got everybody working. December. Low desirability. Damn it, you guys. Making me spend money I don't have. There. Okay. Went back down. It's alright. This year we'll get out of trouble. Actually, let's put in a couple more glass factories just to make sure we got enough glass for the town and for our exports. I'll cut into our sand, but I'm pretty sure we're kicking it with sand. glass that we need. The hard part is that these ports are so far away. But anyway, we'll be able to get it going. More glass. Okay, we're going to put plenty of pottery and glass in for these guys. Immigrant on the way. We're coming up to the end of part 1, so we got our setup. It sure would be nice to be out of the red and into the black, as I should say. This is going well. Nothing's burning down. Green. Green. Good, good. All right. I don't see any rioters necessarily. Maybe a couple. There's one. No, he's not a rioter. He's just a shopper. Good. Wants 60 grain, so we're working on it. Got it going before he asked. Knew he would ask. We got some grain coming in here. Eventually, we can hook that up. In fact, let's put a road out there. Like that. But not hook it up, because we need to give it to Caesar. But we can put a road out there. And let's put a gatehouse. A little gatehouse out there. Couple of ears on her. Ouch. That hurt. Alright, just have to hook those up. Now there's our wall for the extent of that side. Excellent. And since there's a lot of industry over here, I don't know if I'll put... Got water there, so this might be a good place for our higher level homes. I don't know. Maybe on this side. I could bring the aqueduct over here. Might be nicer over here. They want a bathhouse. We gotta get this debt down. Come on, boys. How are we doing over here? We selling? I don't see anything. Clay, we're selling. We're not selling. It's all going into there, so let's do a little more of this to make some money. Come on. 3 more and get some money in there. Let's go. Giving all the clay to the pottery barns there, which is good because it goes into town and it, builds up our lower class guys. But we need to get some clay in here. Maybe we'll actually be better put them over here. Closer. Let's go to that. And we'll do a little overkill. Make sure we get the darn thing going here. Let's go. Then we can take these out. Maybe these. Maybe these. We'll do it there. $733, so that's good. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Good. Okay. Okay. April 500. Okay. Now we've got to have money to import timber and iron over here. Okay. We don't have to do it just yet. Okay, we're getting some sand in here. We're getting some glass going here. And the ships are coming. There they go. What's going? What's coming? Coming, going. Very good. Okay, good. And we're coming up to the end of part 1, but we're almost out of debt. Maybe this guy will help us out. Some more glass coming. Don't put it in the warehouse. Put it in the... Okay, he's coming to get it. It's a Sandman. $264. We're out of debt. 5 more minutes left here to part 1. And then we'll go on with this excellent city. Look at this place. Talk about your big maps. Not the biggest, but it's all so much fun. It's so flat. So much space. Really fun. 150 and it's May, so we're going to be able to, by the end of the part, we should be in the black. Get that phrase right. So the last one, I kept mixing that up. But you're in the red when you're in debt. But we are not in debt anymore. We got our trade routes going now. We are not paying our people till we get $1,000, but we're out of debt. So by the time 333, we have our glass going, we have our sand going. Now we have to build up enough money to import iron and wood for some military help, because they will come at us. So we're on sublime extreme austerity, I'm trying to say. Now it's 24 AD, so Jesus is preaching in Galilee. But imagine, all right, ancient world. The Roman Empire was very interested in ancient religions, in Egypt, and in anything that was ancient. And the Hebrew religion was ancient. Oh my God, what's going on? Oh no. Oh my God, the storm coming off the Sahara Desert. That's not the Sahara Desert, this is Greece. Alexandria, oh yeah, Alexandria, this is Greece, it's Egypt. And they just thought, they loved Egypt. Egypt was ancient by their time. And anything that was ancient, the people who were growing, the middle class, and they were starting to ask for books to read. They liked to read Homer's Iliad and the Odyssey. This was big in the ancient world. And if you were literate, you could read and write, which was a rare thing. At first, it was only for the ruling class, the kings and queens and emperors, and their upper class cronies, the aristocrats. The storm is over. Thank God we lasted through it. That was quite the blast. Got $1,000, so we're good. We're starting to pay our guys. They're going to be happier about that. But in the ancient world, there was this great thirst for literary works. And it wasn't just for the rich and powerful that were educated. Now the tradesmen started to grow up in the Roman Empire because they needed trade. So this trade class began to happen for the first time in history. And they started wanting to have novels to read. So there was a great resurgence of the Greco-Roman world of the novel. Another thing that was prevalent in the ancient world at that time were mystery schools. There's 2,500. Let's see here. We got it, so let's ship it. We didn't need to, 15 favor. They are going to shut us down. 23. Can we do it again? 25. Well, that's good. Okay, I'm trying to save the larger ones. And try to get so that we're not being deluged. Okay. Now, one thing, got $900. I think we can do is make these guys happy with a bathhouse, huh? Bathhouse. That's good. Maybe. So we got money now. Odium would be good. Okay. So that should help stave off any trouble. Let's see if we got enough reach there. Come the army. Oh, we got to go over here. And unfortunately, send another gift. Okay, that's 30, so they'll... I'm mediocre now. They won't send the army now. Okay. Let's see, I was checking on the entertainment. Odium, does it reach everybody? No, it doesn't reach that one guy. That is just too bad, isn't it? That won't do it. Okay, I've managed to recover enough in room size to remain in power for now. Which is good, because we're no longer in deficit spending, so it shouldn't go down, keep going down. Only goes down when you're in deficit spending. We need another odium up here. Well, we'll need that for the upper class over here. So, it's September. I gotta be careful here, but I think I can bring the wall out to here. Oh, no. Adios. Just want to bring the wall out to here. Right. Okay. It's not hooked up. We can hook it up, though. We can hook it up. And we should. Because we could use the food right now, and he's not asking for it right now. He'll get around to it. I don't know. That's kind of funky. I'm right in the way, a little roundabout out there. I guess that works. Okay. I don't want to hook it up here. Just one hookup. They'll go and get that grain. They'll bring it in. And I think it was in this one I did something new. I did something different, and it was fun. I have this. This is accepting all of the different foods we have here, but eventually what I'm going to end up doing is doing 3 granaries and 3 grocery stores, markets. 1 for grain, 1 for vegetables, and 1 for meat, right? Once we begin to increase production, here's some grain coming in because I opened up that Caesar's Preserve for the town. I'm probably going to need some food. Got no food there. I could definitely use food. He's going to ask for vegetables too, so I have to do that too. Let's do that. That's the next thing. 1, 2. A 4, 5, 6 vegetables. And this is a little on the funkadelic side. Oh, we're over an hour, so we got to stop here at part 1. Well, we want to get this going, so we'll just put in these vegetable farms. Of course not. Okay. A vegetable farm. Put these granaries up here for vegetables. And we'll call it a day here, but we'll just put in some granaries for the vegetables. Okay, I'll just add 2. Not enough. Set these to vegetables. Caesar will ask for them, but we don't sell vegetables, so we only need a couple. Okay, good. All right, now the food for the town is getting dumped into here. Got some meat, good. Close this one. This is for vegetables. This is for meat. And this is for grain. Okay, grain. Oh, this guy here. Okay. So now we have 3 markets, right? It's December. We just paid off Caesar. We're good to go for part 1. So thanks a lot for listening. We got our food production going. This will make a big difference. And we'll be able to keep an eye on what's going on over here. Put in a couple more granaries. Do the same thing for the granaries here. This one for grain. This one's just for meat. And this one for vegetables. This is my new food distribution. We'll eventually have another market for our upper class that won't be open to plebs. But that'll be in part 2 or 3 to come. It takes a little while. It's just quite a challenge. A fun city. We got to make a military. We'll do all that in part 2. Thanks a lot for listening, for coming along on the journey. And I'll share with you some more offbeat ideas about the Christian era here in the next part. Here in Alexandria, AD 25, Jesus is in Galilee, just like Titus and Flavius will be 30 years later, 40 years to the day. Roman armies will follow the same path as Jesus' ministry through Galilean towns and then into Jerusalem. And eventually they sack Jerusalem and burn down the great temple of Herod, the second temple. They burn it to the ground. Just as Jesus said, right? 30 years and 40 years before that. Not one stone upon another. But that'll have to wait till the next time because we're over time here. But we'll be right back for Alexandria and some more cosmic debris from your friend of mine, James Mandelaire. Thanks a lot.